My guest between periods is John Gilbert, staff writer for the Minneapolis Tribune, and probably the foremost authority in hockey in the state.
Wow.
And John, we have probably one of the better games in the state tonight with Bemidji and Minneapolis, or with Bemidji and Hibbing.
I haven't seen either of these teams play, and it's a treat to watch them. It's like it's what pro hockey should be. I mean,
right.
The great intensity, the passing.
Good, clean.
Fantastic play. Bemidji's excellent checking game has closed off the Hibbing passing game, which is so phenomenal. And yet the pace has been great both ways. The intensity has been just every shift has been so intense. State tournament quality play.
Right. This would be a good final game.
It would
actually.
Be. And it could. I don't know how the bracket is.
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm here, is because I expect that both these teams could be in the state tournament.
How you seeing most of the Minneapolis teams now? These two teams would compare probably with any of the two down there now, any of the two top ones.
Well, I would say what you've got down there is an interesting situation. We have a lot of quantity and a lot of players, a lot of good teams. These two teams are really excellent teams. In the Twin Cities, the most excellent teams are in the Lake South Conference, where you saw Edina up here. Edina went back down there after Hibbing beat them and lost to Armstrong, then lost to Burnsville, and then lost to Minnetonka right in a row. Edina's a good team, but those teams right now are better. Burnsville is excellent, very strong, very tough, and they would fit right into this game. Minnetonka has got tremendous talent, and yet Burnsville beat them 4-1. Burnsville then beat Jefferson 10-0. So they knocked off Edina 2-1, Minnetonka 4-1, and Jefferson 10-0 in a row. And Jefferson is good enough to be in the state tournament. Kennedy is in that league also and was picked to win the conference, and they're like 4th or 5th right now. So that's a really tough conference. You know,
I think
one teams, and you also have like White Bear Lake. They have an excellent hockey team. Hill Murray's good. Southwest is good in Minneapolis. Anoka's strong. But the best 5 teams in the Twin Cities might all be in that Lake South.
Right. You know, I think it's amazing. Like up here now, anytime Edina gets beat, it's, you know, because I think just about every year they're in there and they've won it quite a few, say what, 6 or 7 times over the last 10 years or something like that. And I think from the aspect of the people up here, if anybody else makes, as long as Edina doesn't get in there.
It's interesting how it's changed, because 10 years ago people used to say, oh, that Iron Range,
right,
you know,
right,
the Iron Range was the Yankees.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to see the Iron Range get knocked off down there. I used to love it, because to me, as I say, there's a big difference between hockey school players and hockey sense players. And I think the players up here and the players in this game have to get by with hockey sense. You can't learn what you're doing in this game from skating around cones.
Right.
And a lot of the Twin Cities teams have now gone beyond that, but that's how they were, I think. There's a lot of great drill players and great hockey school type players that learn the game from other ways than getting out there and actually doing it.
In your schooling now as hockey, how did you get into hockey and how your interests?
Well, it's interesting, because I grew up in Duluth, and my father was Wally Gilbert, who played professional baseball with the Brooklyn Dodgers, Cincinnati Reds, and pro football with the Duluth Eskimos before I was born. He was disabled when I was about the time I was born, but not because of that, I don't think. But at any rate, I grew up knowing a lot about baseball, a lot about football, a lot about basketball. When I decided I wanted to go into reporting or whatever, journalism, I realized I enjoyed hockey, but it was foreign to me. I wanted to study it and learn it. I skated a little as a kid, but I lived in the country. I never played hockey as a kid. I play now.
Right.
But at any rate, I kind of went at it as a study, and I think that's a terrific advantage. A lot of the people that I know around the game, the only people whose knowledge of the game I don't respect are those who think they learned it all by playing it, and once they know it all, they don't have to learn anymore. And I think the people who I do respect are people who, the more they learn about the game, the more they know there is to learn. And as long as you're always receptive to new things, it's a fascinating game.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because there's so many, everybody says that you have to be a hockey player or something like that, have good knowledge. That's the only way we get the knowledge, which you can watch that game and know the aspects inside and out and be just as good.
Well, that's true, and I play it now. I coach teams now. I coach teams in the summer league, college-age kids, and I love it. And I draft my own players. So I coach Moundsview traveling team, and I've had a great time with the squirt team. I really enjoy the game, and I think that I'm constantly learning more about it, and I'm learning, tonight. And you can learn from going to a Pee Wee game. You can learn from everything you see about it.
Well, John, we've run out of time here, and I'm going to thank you for being up here, and we'll continue reading I really enjoy reading the articles, because being with the such a Bulldog fan, you know, follow the Gophers and the Bulldogs all the time. So.
Well, it's enjoyable. Thank you very much. It's fun being here.
Thank you for being up here.
Okay.
And we'll be right back with third period action.